Hello everyone, this is Janessa Mosley with JM Wildlife Arc, and I wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th of July today, happy Independence Day. I've got Pochita here with me. He is the red part of my red, white, and blue outfit for today. Very excited to show Pochita off. He is a 2022 Hypo Blood 66% het call albino, and he is produced by Steve at Boamorph. Big shout out to Steve. Thank you again, Steve, for producing this beautiful male and allowing me to have him and care for him. It's been wonderful watching him grow, watching him develop. As you can see, he's got a very, very beautiful red color to him on his belly as well, and his eyes. So as I mentioned in my previous videos, this is the male I will be pairing with Aurora this year. I will be pairing him and Aurora either this coming September or October. And my goal with that pairing is to see if Pochita here proves out het for call albino. If he does prove out het for call albino, they will produce some really nice sun glow, 100% het blood, 50% het PK stripe boas, and that'll be a wonderful addition to my potential red and sun dragon projects that I have set up for the future. If he does not prove out het for call albino, then they will produce some really nice normal and hypo double het boas. So some of the litter may come out normal, some of the litter will come out hypo, and then they will be double het for both call albino, being that the mom is a visual sun glow, and also het for blood as well, being the dad is a visual blood. So I'm really hoping that he does prove out het for call. If he does not, that's still okay, as the offspring will still be double het. I myself don't mind working with hets, depending on the lineage of the boa, the quality of the boa. I do think that's important. So once again, this male was produced by Steve at Boamorph, and he does produce some really, really nice top quality boas. So there were a couple visual sun glows, there were a couple actual sun dragons in the same litter as this male. So that does not mean he is going to prove out het for call. That's not a guarantee for that. That just means it's more likely, he's more likely to. So, very excited to pair him with Aurora. I do believe they'll produce some really beautiful offspring, and if not, then it'll still be a wonderful learning experience. With the good also comes the bad. So when I do pair Pochita with Aurora, I will be taking videos of that. I will be posting that on YouTube, keeping track of their journey, just to see what they produce, if they produce anything. So I am excited for that. It'll be another wonderful learning experience for myself. Hopefully Pochita will be a first-time dad, and hopefully Aurora will produce her second litter. If not, the overall goal is to make sure that both boas are as healthy and happy as can be throughout the entire process, as accidents can always happen. Hi Pochita. In today's video, I primarily just wanted to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Be safe. Make sure, if you have cats or dogs, to bring them indoors, as there most likely will be a lot of fireworks depending on where you live. There won't be any fireworks here where I live. Fireworks are not permitted in the town of Paradise, which is totally okay with me. I have dogs and cats, so I don't have to worry about them being in any distress. And I really just wanted to show Pochita off too in the sunlight. It can be a little hard to see his true red color between the angle of the camera It really depends on the UV index, how bright the sun is. He looks much more incredible in person. I can definitely guarantee that. And he's pretty chill. He's pretty relaxed and laid back. I can't say all the boas are like this. It does depend on the individual boa. It does depend on if they're stressed out or not. It depends on if they're hungry or not. Which I will touch up in this video on another topic. I do bring my boas out in public. I do not bring all my boas out in public. I bring the ones that I have confidence in, that I know that they are calm and relaxed when being around people and being in public. I do have boas that I will not bring out in public because they are not calm and relaxed around people. So a big part of that is being able to read and understand the animal's body language. As you can see here, Pochita is very relaxed. One way you can tell if a boa is relaxed is the way that they stretch out their body, the way that they continue to basically look for things. They're very curious. He's active. He's not super active in the sense of he's trying to get away. If he wanted to move a lot faster, he could. As you can see, he's just very curious. Just wants to check things out. This is one way you can tell if an animal, or in this case a boa specifically, is comfortable or not comfortable. If he was not comfortable, he would either A, be moving at a much faster pace, trying to get off of me, trying to get onto the ground, trying to get away from me. Or he would be in a striking position, which is where their bodies are coiled up, their necks are coiled up, they're cocked back, and they're watching you, basically getting ready to strike at you either as a potential threat or for food, depending on the individual boa and the circumstance. Now they will, as you can see, he is holding on to my hand. That is how they hold on to things. That's to make sure he keeps his balance and doesn't just slide right off my arm. He's not constricting me, he's not hurting me. They are strong animals, they have a lot of muscle, so sometimes when they do hold on to things, they can grab a little bit tight to support their extra body weight. And if you have little fingers like me, sometimes you just want to make sure they don't accidentally cut off the circulation, but they're not doing it in a sense of being mean, they're doing it in a sense of to hang on. If he was stressed out, if he was anxious, he would be hissing, he would be striking, he would be trying to get away. Boas like that, I will not bring in public for two main reasons. For one, the safety of the animal. If something is stressed out, you don't want to purposely bring it in public. That's not fair towards the animal. And number two, it's not fair for people. No one wants to get bit. No one wants to be around a stressed out animal. And there are people out there that do have phobias of snakes. My mother, that I live with and take care of, as I'm an IHSS worker, she actually has a phobia of snakes. She can look at them. She can get within a certain distance of them. And she's actually comfortable enough now to touch some of my boas on their butts and on their backs. But she does not like to handle them. If they hiss or strike out, she gets very scared. My mother has had heart surgery in the past, so I am very mindful on people with phobias, that do have phobias of snakes. It's very important to respect them, respect how they feel, and respect their space. You simply ask them, or you read their body language, or both, and you maintain a distance. For me, if I'm in public and I notice or I know that someone is not comfortable with snakes or afraid of snakes, I make sure to maintain at least a 5 or 6 foot distance, if not more. I don't just walk up to people and go, oh, look, I have a boa. No, as a matter of fact, I don't walk up to people at all. Even if someone is or is not afraid of snakes, I still maintain my distance, knowing that I have an animal on me that is different than a dog or a cat. And it's a little bit harder to tell whether or not they're comfortable or stressed out. And I do make sure when taking them in public to make sure that they are okay, that they are allowed in any store I bring them into. I do take my boas to public events locally, so birthday parties, local events. That is one of the things I do for the boas. I'm learning to be an educational speaker for them, to talk to people, especially with children. I notice a lot of children really like the boas. They really want to learn more about the boas. So it's good to be able to teach children, give them the opportunity to learn about these animals and not have fear over these animals. So that was something too I wanted to touch base on, as I know a lot of people have gotten rather upset with me bringing my boas out in public and into public stores. So that was something I did want to talk about as well. I will actually be bringing Pochita with me today to Tractor Supply, which animals are allowed at my local Tractor Supply. I have brought in my boas and one of my dogs into my local Tractor Supply before, so there are no issues there. So these are things you always want to remember, whether you're wanting to bring one of your boas or your reptiles out in public yourself, or whether you're watching other people do it. That was something I wanted to share a little bit of information on, share a little bit of my experience on. And once again, I will not bring a boa that is stressed out or hesitant of people in public. I also will not bring my full-grown adults, other than the males, of course, like Pochita here. He's not a 6-7 foot boa. He's maybe, I don't know exactly, maybe around 4 to 5 feet long. So he's not terribly huge. I'm not going to bring a very large boa out in public unless it's for a specific event or birthday party that I already have scheduled. So that's another thing I wanted to point out and take into consideration. Try and show off Pochita a little bit more here too. I'm about wrapping it up for today's video. I primarily just wanted to show Pochita, wish everyone a happy 4th of July, talk a little bit more about the pairing I have with Pochita and Aurora, really show his colors in the sun, that beautiful red belly, gorgeous red. And once again, I do not know if he will prove out het for call. However, I do think there's a good chance that he will. One of the visual signs, or I guess 2 of the visual signs, I should say, that makes me think that he will is, might be a little hard to tell on the camera. If you look on his tail, he's got a lot of white striping here on the sides, in between the markings. That's a very good sign that he'll prove out het for call. Another really good sign, and this one's really going to be hard to capture on the camera, is on the sides, in between some of his markings, he does have a little bit of white in the middle. So the more visual white spots, which I'm just showing my face here, the more visual white spots he has, the more likely he is to be het for call. And he could not be het for call. I'm not saying that these are 100% factors. These are just more likely factors that can contribute to him, contribute to him actually being het. So another one is right here, like a white spot here in between on the sides, in between the patterns. So, and once again, even if he doesn't prove het for call, his offspring will be double het, being that the mother is a visual sun glow. So very excited. I know the babies are going to be colorful, and that's hopefully if they do produce offspring. You never know what could happen. Breeding the boas, it's a little bit more, I don't want to say difficult, but more of a project. Can be a little bit more challenging at times, being that boas do give live birth and don't lay eggs. And unless you ultrasound your boa, which even then, you don't fully know if they're going to have live babies, if they're going to have slugs. You have to be careful with the female, making sure the female passes all of the baby or the slugs. If anything gets stuck inside of her, that can cause serious issues and even death. With the males, when you pair a male with a female, if the female moves around a lot and the male is significantly smaller than the female, she can actually rip one or both of his hemipenes off. I have heard of this happen. I have seen stories of it happening. So that's another thing too, is you want to make sure that your male, you're pairing with your female is not so much smaller than her to where she can hurt him. You want to make sure that he'll be okay. So there's a good chance they're going to lay on each other. That's what they do when they mate. So you want to make sure that the male is going to be okay before pairing. Make sure he's a good age, a good size, full maturity. Same with the females. I like to wait till my females are 5 years old. I've heard you can pair them at 4. I just prefer not to. I like to give them the extra time to mature, extra time to get ready to prepare for babies, a little extra time to grow. I guess I kind of talk about breeding a little bit in this video too. This video kind of turned into a multiple subject video, as most of my videos do, but that's okay. I enjoy talking about my experiences, my knowledge, the different breeding plans I have, different projects, just the things I do differently when pairing my boas, taking care of my boas. So hopefully I got plenty of good shots of Pochita. Very, very beautiful red color. Very excited to pair him. And if he does prove out het for call, he will be a very huge addition to my Sun Dragon projects. That's what I'm most excited for. If he does prove out het for call, I will most likely be pairing him with Waffles after that, but that's looking too far ahead into the future. It's best to take it one step at a time, plan one pairing at a time. There's another female I may or may not be pairing, this season too. That's my Hypo Nicaraguan female. I'm trying to get the courage to take a video of her. It's not necessarily the courage, but she doesn't like to be handled by people. It stresses her out. It makes her feel very uncomfortable. So to take a video with her would be adding unnecessary stress on her. So if I were to do that, it would be for educational purposes and to show how I do handle a boa that is not necessarily as people-friendly or people-oriented. That being said, most of the boas I have for breeding, I did get them while they were young, so I've been handling them and working with them since they were babies. Pochita here was actually almost 2 years old when I got him. He's either 3 years old or coming up on 3 years old, because he's 2022. So I've had him for a little over a year, and thankfully he's just been super friendly and super chill with me. Very calm. He is a boa. I will take him public. As I mentioned previously, I'm getting ready to go take him to Tractor Supply. He'll pick up a couple things. So I do work with my boas, the ones that are comfortable with me handling them. I handle them as often as I can. I do have a lot of boas, being that I breed boas. I currently have, I believe, 34 boas. So I do try to handle them as often as I can. For me, a big portion of having the boas is not just keeping them in an enclosure all day long to where they just sitting there. I do my best to take them outside, give them enrichment. During the winter time, when it's too cold outside, I handle them inside my house. I have different things for them to climb up on. I let them climb on me. So a big part for me for owning the boas is giving them plenty of enrichment, plenty of exercise. These are live animals. They don't just require food and water and be slapped on a shelf. No, they require attention. They require exercise, fresh air, being able to move. They're not trophies. They're breathing live animals. And respecting the animal, understanding their body language, in my opinion, is a huge importance, and one of the main things about owning boas in any animal is reading their body language, understanding when they're stressed out, when they're not stressed out, when they're comfortable, when they're not comfortable. I love psychology, psychology for people, psychology for animals. I'm a big advocate for mental health. So being able to read and understand body language for really all life, I find very important for myself. And that's something that I guess I'm very passionate about. One of the things I could say is yeah, passionate about it. I'm a very passionate person, I'd like to say. In my opinion, passion is one of the essence of life. And it's one of the things that for me helps to keep me going. So I think that about wraps it up for today's video. I hope everyone has a beautiful, blessed, and wonderful day today. Everyone be safe. Everyone keep your animals indoors. Happy 4th of July. This is 4th of July for 2025. I enjoy going over my videos, and I'm sure I'll watch this video myself in the future and just kind of go, huh, so that's how July or 4th of July went for 2025. So anyways, I'm starting to ramble on. Really hope I got all of, like I said, all of Pochita. Beautiful male. Very, very excited to pair him. So everyone have a good day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.